So this is just an unboxing of my Ruger Bisley Vaquero. I've actually opened it before, but I'll show you what it looks like. So it's the general instructions and gaff that comes with it. Get a sticker. It's a lock. The gun and nothing else. That's it. It's come with a safety indicator, which I'll take out. First thing I notice is this is really coarse coming out. Everything feels very stiff. The cylinder actually looks a bit grubby for a new gun, for a brand new gun. Looks very, I don't know if that can be picked up on the camera. The finish is very rough. It's interesting. I don't know if that can be seen, but that's very rough finish on the inside of the cylinder front. And likewise, and the sides even look rather rough, which is a little bit disappointing. Just the general metal finish isn't very well done. It's rather rough, which I wasn't expecting given the price of this thing. Slide this back in. It feels very coarse. There's nothing smooth about sliding that pin back in. You can see around the back of the cylinder here, it's just very rough. It doesn't look like a new gun, but it is. It's a new firearm. The hammer is really stiff. I knew that would be the case before I bought it, which is why I've already pre-ordered the springs for it. But it feels nice. It's a nice weight. I like this Bisley hammer. I like this Bisley grip. I've picked these up before I chose this one. And I was warned that the hammer would be fairly heavy out of the box, but it is very heavy out of the box. It needs cleaning, and I'll do that first up and just see how things, see if it smooths up a bit, but I'll give it a good clean and might polish that cylinder pin. It just feels like it's feels almost like a file trying to take it out. I'll give it a little polish up and inside. So I've given it a good clean, and I've got to say, it does, it's my left hand so it's pretty hopeless, but it does feel nice in the hand. But I am a little bit disappointed, or more than disappointed, with the finish. I mean, look at some of these things here. I don't know how well that'll focus, but it's just that screw, scratches, the stainless is just marked and scratched. It's really just a pretty ordinary finish for a very, well, for me, quite an expensive firearm. But we'll see. Here's my right hand. I am really happy with the feel of it, with the weight of it. So after I cleaned the gun, it was nice, but this was still feeling a bit like a fine file. So I've polished it with that metal polish. I'll just give it a bit of a clean with some whatever that is, G96 stuff, just to get the polish off. And I'll give it a bit of an oil. I also did a little polish in here. That was a bit awkward. And all I could use was just a bit of dowel with a bit of polish over it. It seems to have worked alright. Not the best. That feels 100% better already. It doesn't feel, I can't hear it rasping like I could before. No, that's lovely. I haven't polished inside the cylinder. I might actually do that as well. So it's not the best way of doing it, but we'll see. It's better than nothing. And I'd rather use polish than fine sandpaper because it's very mild. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see how that is. So, having cleaned it and polished the cylinder pin, it now seems to be much smoother. Much smoother. A little bit much oil in there. But so I also swapped out the springs last night. The hammer spring and the trigger spring. It also came with, it's the old springs. The old springs are still in here, back in here. But it also came with a extra power latch spring, which I haven't swapped out, but I'll leave that for the moment. I might do that later. But it feels so much better. It's lovely. It really is. And everything just seems a little bit smoother. I'm still not happy. I haven't tried polishing up this mess in here. I'll leave that. It's not going to affect the, I can't imagine there's any way it's going to affect the performance. I'm not particularly anal about it. I'm just a bit disappointed that it's how a new gun has been presented. It just doesn't seem to be much of a much pride in their work, and the little scratches all around the metal that's just poorly polished, and this screw in here that's been dinged about. Yeah, I'm surprised, but it will shoot, I'm sure. The proof will be in the pudding. Cheers.